5 common mistakes dealing with commercial roofing claims.
Using your CRMs, using your softwares to make you a brainiac. Follow up.
Not getting the policy, knowing what they have coverages for.
You have to know the history of it. You have to know,
Yeah.
are these people chronic claimers? Or,
Okay.
do they take the money and not do repairs?
People don't quite understand the risk they're walking into sometimes with some of
Huge.
these things. And like if something goes wrong, it's not like $50,000. Could be $500,000, and that could really break a company. Hey, how's it going? It's Tim Brown. This is the Hook Better Leads podcast, and today I have Cam Wade on from National Claims Advisors. How you doing, Cam?
Doing awesome, buddy. How are you doing?
Doing very well. We are having the pleasure of talking about 5 common mistakes dealing with commercial roofing claims. I know a lot of you guys want to get into commercial a little bit more, or you're starting to step into it and you're feeling a little bit of difficulty or pain or anxiety around certain things. And what we want to do is try to help you with a little bit of that today. And I know Cam's got a wealth of experience in this area. Cam, can you just give people a little bit of a background about what you've been doing and what you're doing now?
Sure. Well, I'm a lifelong roofer myself. My father was. I did sales, project management, even dabbled in ownership myself, and then became a PA for a couple of years and learned a lot. Focused a lot on commercial on the roofer side, and then of course as a PA, and now I work for a nationwide law firm that we do pre-litigation commercial insurance claims, and we help settle those quickly. So yeah, that's kind of what we do now.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't really fully understand this business as well as you do. So if I ask a question that's not as useful for roofers or something like that, feel free to kind of reframe it in a way that you feel like would be the most useful. I just want this podcast to be the most useful as it possibly can be for folks that are trying to get into commercial or are going through some of these missteps. So
Oh, for sure.
we're talking about common mistakes dealing with commercial roof claims. What is one of the biggest ones that you've seen?
Well, I think this is basic and this is universal for residential and commercial, especially for commercial, and that's communication. Using your CRMs, using your softwares to make you a brainiac. Follow up. That is, I think, what 90% of these people really want is just great communication, follow through. That's
Yeah.
first and foremost.
So one of the ones you had on here was not getting the policy, knowing what they have coverages for. And when do you ask for that?
That's that's a great question. Being trained and doing this so long, I just own it now that I ask for it as soon as possible, or I immediately set that expectation. Okay, in order for me to do my job and to help you, I'm going to need that full policy. So go ahead and talk with your agent or your broker, whoever it is, and get that full certified copy. They are owed it once a year to get it updated, and they can get it electronically as well as printed, because that's all the ammunition. That tells you what they have and what they don't have. Because you could go up there and work all day long, all week long, scoping it, finding the damage, start building an estimate, all of that. And just to find out, oh, dang, these roofs are actually actual cash value once they turn 12 years old, or actually these types of roofing materials are excluded deep within page 78 of this policy. So that's a
Weird.
good question. That's going to come with just with doing it time, but really just setting expectations as quickly as possible.
So I was out with a residential guy the other day, and he like if they have a statement of loss already, is that common in the commercial space or is that not common? Like if they already have a statement of loss from the insurance company.
Like as far as like they've already got like an insurance scope that's
Yeah.
got maybe a repair that's under the deductible or something like that.
Yeah. Does that happen ever with you
Oh,
guys?
all the time.
Yeah.
That to where when we get a file too, is as much as we would like to get a file from the very beginning before they've even been filed, because most of the time they're not even framed or filed the right way, um, and it can damage the claim and
Sure.
really
Yeah. And
hurt.
I would guess there's more that can go wrong in a larger situation like
There
this.
really is, and with the policies, they're very multi-layered, like a cake. They're
Yeah.
big, so they're big. Um, risk. So these risks are spread out, sometimes very thin to very, broadly across the world sometimes. So they can be dynamic, and understanding them. Another one too, and thanks for, guiding me along. My brain is a mess. It's crazy.
Yo, we got knowing claim history and knowing the right questions. So
Yeah,
we talked about these beforehand. I'm gonna feed them to you because I think that they're very good, the ones that you gave. So
yeah. So a claim history too, knowing your policyholder and or the manager of the, let's say, an HOA, um, you know, uh, uh, portfolio manager that has maybe 50 different properties, policies, who knows. You have to know the history of it. You have to know,
yeah.
are these people chronic claimers? Or,
Okay.
do they take the money and not do repairs? Who are these people that
Yeah.
we're working with? Very
Ah,
important,
because like that seems like it would be almost less likely in commercial claims. That's not
dude.
that crazy though.
It's
It
it's
happens.
all over, brother. Where
They're big. They're
there's
big money. There's big dollar amounts, right? So there's
Yeah, and
occasionally
that's
they're
why
just
you'll
like,
see
all right, I'm keeping that.
hotels.
Yeah.
You'll see hotels. You'll see, schools. Even you'll see churches. You'll see every major organization if they've experienced a loss. Now, I will say it's you, as you learn through it, you learn the signs and the flags start popping up of, who are the players in here that are gonna who you want to work with, because you want to partner with people who have a good positive moral compass, or else it's not going to work out. It's not
No,
going to
let me
work
ask you a question as a hotel user. Uh, is that when you are in the hotel and you like smell water damage? Is that half the time somebody filed a claim and didn't do the actual work? Because I like,
for
dude,
sure.
like I don't know. I've been to some of these hotels where I'm like, I feel like the people running this joint are not
Oh
ethically.
yeah. I was just in one down in Galveston, and it's a really sweet place. And it got hit, I believe, about I checked the storm maps, and it was 2 years before. I think it was a tropical storm, and I'm right on the beach, and you could see the little speckle of the growth happening around the trim. You could smell it. I used my moisture, even my moisture meter, and picked up some moisture there, and it's
You know
just fun.
that they didn't not file a claim at that point, like
Oh
because
yeah, for
everyone in
sure.
the area was filing a claim. They did too.
It happens a lot. It really
Yeah,
does. And that's another huge, um, mistake I see guys make that are transitioning and wanting to add commercial into their portfolio, as far as book of business, is not asking for help and partnering up with a more seasoned company that maybe you don't have the bandwidth and or the understanding. Um, and it's okay, like, to be able to team up with, when we come to a situation, we usually have our team ready to go, whether it's our contractor, they've got their team, and we come, we want to be a turnkey one-stop solution, as well as we don't know it all. We have to have
yeah.
experts as well. So having a
And
good trusted
you can
team.
understand if you're like, let's say, a $5 million roofer and you're trying to get into commercial, it's like you kind of already feel like a baller a little bit.
Mhm.
Like 5 million bucks is nothing to shake a stick at, but then like commercial is a different jam. And like people that have been on previously that have been talking about commercial have said like people don't quite understand the risk they're walking into sometimes with some of
Huge.
these things. And like if something goes wrong, it's not like $50,000, could be $500,000, and that could really break a company, right? So like
Oh
just
yeah,
being
that's
careful, like the
shutdown
bigger
time.
and like just also the profitability. If the profitability is off in a smaller project, that might be $5,000, and here it might be hundreds, right? So that could be huge. Like if you accidentally scoped it wrong or something like that.
Hmm.
If you truly believe in what you're doing and you want to be the best version of yourself and you want to build a great organization, there's no other place to do that besides the Roofing Academy.
No, truly,
Well,
there's a big risk involved when we get into that larger pool, and that's again having trusted people that you can rely on. Don't, be greedy. What do they say? Hogs eat, fat pigs, Slavs. They get slaughtered,
slaughtered.
right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Um,
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
you had another common mistake on here: knowing the product. And I think
Yeah.
that's certainly like even the first couple of years of trying to kind of make this move into commercial, like man, it's crazy how much like a lot of the people I've gone out with and gone out with these roofing companies. I haven't like shadowed a lot of commercial roofers. Um, the product knowledge is crazy, and they make it seem so easy. They're just like,
Mm.
yeah, we got this, and this is why the drip edge and all this, whatever. And like, obviously, those details are probably there's probably more of those details with a commercial roof. How can you study those products without, like what are the best ways to kind of study up?
I think getting hands on, number one, is how it helped me stick. I go to every one of my suppliers, and if I have, like, if I'm a salesman, if I'm a project manager, I'm going to my owner and saying, "Hey, I need to know more. Send me to every relationship you have at ABC, at Beacon, at whatever it may be. I want to go to those little clinics that they put on that." Or go to Duralast, go get Duralast certified, go get all the certification, go get hands on, there's some really good education that's out there now, but also too, it can be overwhelming. There's a ton to know. I would just say pick one and pick two and just start
Yeah.
really focusing on the properties of TPO and on coatings and modified bitumen and knowing what sticks to what. So that way it just really helps you provide, um, being able to offer what a client really needs. Because if a policyholder or a manager of a large portfolio, has a lot of properties, they've got different goals. It may not even just to get this one fixed right now. It could be we've got other fish to fry, um, and so yeah, it's just a
I think
lot.
that I love hearing about just the amount of like basically going to all these clinics and like the manufacturers and stuff like that. I feel like that is something where if you're a newer roofing salesman in commercial or residential, like knowing which ones exist and are available to you is still like because companies might not always tell you that.
No, it's important. And then those reps at the manufactured ones too. Let's throw one out there if I'm allowed to.
Yeah, go for it.
The ProTech Building Solutions, I believe it's called. They make
Yeah.
awesome coatings. That dude Aaron over there is so educated. Will pump you with so much instant knowledge. So not only do you understand the chemical process of bonding and what you can bond silicone, silicone to silicone or acrylic to oil base. It's just there's so much that goes into it, or and understanding foam and water and that effect, or the UV effects of the actual coating itself. All of that can go into, of course, feeding that into educating your policyholder.
Yeah.
Um, that again
Yeah.
can help lead you to a close.
Yeah, because I was talking to a roofer the other day, and he was talking about having confidence, but he had 25 years of experience, 24 years of experience. And it's like, you can kind of pretend, but like the reason you have confidence, brother, is because you've been around for so long. So it's hard when you're
Yeah,
a newer rep, I'm sure. And
yeah.
then just that
I've been
reminder.
a
Yeah.
no, I'm sorry. I've been that that young roofer that got on a roof and thought I was on a TPO roof and told the policyholder, "Oh yeah, yeah, we do TPO all day, blah blah blah. We can do this in like however like week." And just thinking I just get on that job. And he's like, "Well, that's great and all, but this is a PVC roof." And we have air fryers, and we really need to stick with the PVC product. So I don't really want your TPO product. But I lost that job, and
Yeah.
but it was a very great lesson. So it's very important.
Yeah. And like, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how much information and time will give you more confidence, and it's okay that that's part of it. Is like maybe you just need to figure out your rhythm on getting more information. Maybe you need to go to class. Maybe you need to watch more YouTube videos. Maybe you need
Mm,
to reach out to the right people. So there's just it's finding those avenues and figuring out your rhythm and
for sure.
working it into your habits.
Yeah, and never stopping, because I this past 2 years I think have been the most educational I've had in the longest time and the most impactful. This year alone, I've been to three or four of the major uh, what I figure and consider highly respected and very high quality training that's out that has already helped just maximize what I'm doing and how I'm able to help a policyholder as well as help a contractor. So
Hey, can you name some of those? I think that's a very,
Commercial Roofing Academy was one of them. That is a awesome situation going on over there. Cal Spoon and Melanie Spoon with their public adjuster boot camp. That was life changing for me and my understanding of what's going down in our environment, the history, as well as how to be a better advocate for the policyholder. So that's epic, as well as the Building Experts Institute. I'm still in the middle of that Matthew Mulholland class about engineering and overcoming that. That is epic. The amount of care that they put into that is really, it shows. Gosh, there was another one. There's just been some really great education, man. There's some good folks out there doing some cool stuff.
I love it. I feel like it's just probably different than it was 5-10 years ago with the amount of like education available. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. And I think, that we probably need more people. We need more people in roofing. We need more great people in roofing, but we also need more. I'm sure there's a need for people in commercial. It's also scary. And like, it's a niche that like, it's not very easy to get into. So like if there is things we can learn and get into it, I think that that's really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Last one is not nurturing relationships, not knowing when to ask more. And then like you were talking about MSAs. When's the appropriate time to get an MSA? And do you see that as part of nurturing the relationship?
For sure. An MSA, that can be a offering right off the bat that really stokes the interest of a manager of any type or a policyholder on a commercial level, because essentially you're doing, and there are ways that you can, as well as secure payment for any repairs that you do, but having it in place at my level as well as a contractor is it secures you work in the future because you're able to, as we say, nurture that relationship by giving them real time activity, what's going on those roofing systems, one of the most important and expensive investments on that property. And if you can keep them up to date on what's happening with the HVAC systems, that's saving them money down the line. That's affecting their operating costs, their capital gains costs and funds that they operate off of. And if you can help alleviate those expenditures that they can go and now put those into other properties, you really can be a pain healer for them on so many levels just by being on that property and checking on it quarterly. And now you also have historic data that when a loss happens, holy crap, now you made yourself really valuable because now you house within your company CAM or your CRM an entire book of, let's say, 2,000 photos that are all time-stamped that say no Mr. or Mr. Insurance. This is all new damage. We have timestamp photos and videos of the last time we inspected it. So this is going to be an open and shut case. So it makes you very valuable to the policyholder because now you can get a new contract on the repairs and replacement of said roof and fixtures because you've done all the work, the legwork in the beginning. And if they don't, so choose you, that's fine. We'll give you all this data that we've compiled, but there is a fee for it. And now, you've got to, but there's a way to nurture that. And that's by giving them, by being a pain healer for them. Because there's some roofers out there that don't want to touch repairs, that maybe they don't have a repair program division within their team, which I think people should. I mean, I think just like going through classes like in courses like the Commercial Roofing Academy really teaches and highlights the importance of having a good commercial repair division and what that can do for you and how that can sustain you through lean times and how it can secure you future business by pre-selling multi-million dollars worth of jobs. So when the storm happens, you're ready to go and you already have your file built.
Contractors love the catch-all because it makes every single one of their roof builds easier and more profitable. Protective netting wraps facade and landscaping to prevent from left-behind nails and damage. Homeowner referrals bring you more jobs, and insurance supplements bring you more profits. But my favorite part, the branding.
That's brilliant. I love it. I know that. Let me just dive a little bit more into National Claims Advisors real quick and what you guys do. From what I understand, you guys are third-party claims advisors. Um, how do
We're
you guys? What's that?
first party. We're for the policyholder.
Okay, excuse me. And then,
No problem.
how do you help? Because you're talking to me about how you guys help ensure the roofer is compensated. There's a lot of work that goes in up front on a commercial claim that sometimes, if for some reason something didn't happen the way we thought it would, that might not get compensated for it. How do you guys help ensure that the roofer is compensated for all that work?
That's a great question. And, being a law firm, a pre-litigation minded law firm, that's our whole business model is pre-litigation. We don't want to go to court. We want to settle as quickly as possible. But man, I just had a brain fart, which I do. What was our question? Sorry.
It's all right. We can edit this out. The question basically is, let me ask it a new way. Can you tell me a little bit about what National Claims Advisors does and why there's a benefit to the roofer that works with you guys?
Of course. So we have, being a law firm, we're the only party that's able to ensure that a roofer gets compensated for the work that goes in to assisting as an expert on a commercial claim. There's core tests, there's being the ladder assistant, there's being the safety assistant, there's being the repair on the spot, because that's one of the most major things a policy holder has to do is mitigate any further damage. And as we know, with storm after storm comes, you have to be Johnny on the spot and get up there and repair the emergency repair. You can't wait, let it all flap around in the wind for months. Carry your So it's something that you need to take care of. And I'm sorry, I just had a buzz in my phone. My apologies.
It's all right. Yeah, you were saying you can't just let it flap up there, the emergency repair. You've got to be able to re-secure that. You can feel free to take from that or start again there.
Yeah. So the contractors, they are exposed to a lot of risk out there, and we utilize the contractor as an expert and as a partner in this process. So we ensure we get a roof rider signed by the policyholder that basically states that our expert roofer is going through this process with us, and they're going to go through the other end with us as well, and they're going to be the ones that secure the job and get to do the repairs and the rebuild. And if not, and of course they have, as policyholders, first right of refusal, but with that there's still a fee that they're going to get completely out. If they got a brother that has a roofing company that comes along, what happens all the time. But we go in, and we just had it happen today on 21 different claims. We had to with straight face, like there is that line in the sand that we draw with our relationships with our contractors, that hey, they're going to be with us this entire way. You're not going to drop them because you want to keep $2 million. At the end of the day, they will get compensated. They will either build these roofs back, or you're going to take care of them monetarily on a percentage level. And it's just it really fosters a great relationship, because they understand these contractors aren't going to want to, refer us if we just, allow these policyholders to manipulate the system, and to, which there are a lot of policyholders that will do that. And we ensure that we don't work with folks like that, and that we ensure that our contractors are taken care of, because they're highly important to us.
I love it, man. How can somebody get a hold of National Claims Advisors and connect with you?
Oh, they can call me on my cell, 682-412-7216, or email me, cwade@ncapllc.com, or Facebook, Cam Wade. Hit me up. LinkedIn, I'm there as well.
Awesome. National Claims Advisors, Cam Wade. And I always appreciate connecting with you, sir. And I hope to see you at some of the events later this year.
Heck yeah, brother. Thank you.
And you're going to?
I'm pushing everything I can to go to RoofCon for sure. I think I've got some roofing convention of the West Coast going on here. I think next month possibly. I can't remember that. I would like to make it out since I'm already out here in Arizona. I've been bouncing from Arizona, Colorado. There's been some incredible storms there, so a lot of people need help. And in
You want
Minnesota,
that? Oh yeah, oh, it just happened, bro. And I'm not going to talk about it a lot though. My Minnesota roofers don't want me to talk about that. That NCA logo. How much do you like it?
I love it.
You want to get that tatted on you at RoofCon at our booth? Where this is just for everyone out here.
Bull crap.
You can get your logo tatted on you by a professional tattoo artist, not by
in.
Tim Brown. And yeah, basically anywhere that you could tattoo something publicly, it is free. It's a free tattoo.
I'm
If
in, dude.
if it's your logo. And then like if you want, this is just for my roofers. If you want Hook's logo tatted on you, just for shits and giggles, let's say you just love Hook Agency. You understand we're all trying to modernize the roofing industry together. That this is a community. That this is badass. You also get $2,500 off if you're signing up for Hook Agency services.
What about what would you do for like the Hook Agency that has the QR code?
QR code? No, bro.
Yeah.
I think I might have a better deal for you if you do the QR code. Also, I wouldn't advise it if I was advising you on this. I would say maybe don't do that. But nonetheless, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a Guitar Hero competition. We're also gonna have these amazing shirts that are gonna say nail guns and roses. And then, which like they're gonna be classic, like tour style. And
Yeah, with all the dates.
And then it's like says Roofing Rockstar Tour on the back, so it'll be a fun.
Awesome.
It'll be a fun vibe, I think. But those shirts are gonna go quick. I'm just gonna throw that out there. So, Cam,
Well, if
what
I get a
size
tag,
are
you better save me one.
Yeah, what are you? What size are you, bro?
Large.
Large. Okay. Jack. Get Cam a large. I mean, I really think these are going to go quick. They're going to be
I'm
pretty
sure
bad.
they will.
My man, I appreciate you very much. Thank you for joining us today and have a good one.
Thank you, brother.
See you guys.
See you, bud.